If you have an old 401k because you changed jobs or you're now fully self-employed, before you do a rollover IRA, which most people will tell you what you should do, you may want to hit the pause button on that because it may not necessarily be the best option. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 3 equally great options that you may want to consider regarding what to do with your old 401k. Option number 1, move your old 401k to your new 401k. This only makes sense if your new 401k fund lineup is solid. How will you know if it's solid? For me, I look at 2 things. 1, if I see the World Institutional Index in a couple of the fund lineup, then I know that that's a good, solid fund lineup. Institutional class index funds essentially are really low-cost funds that are typically only made available to large institutions like pension funds or foundations, but your employer is making those institutional index funds available for you. So that's pretty good. The second thing that I look for is the word brokerage link. Typically, it's found at the end of the 401k fund lineup. Not a whole lot of companies have this, but this brokerage link option, if it's available in your new 401k, will give you the option to buy pretty much any mutual fund or ETF that's available in the platform. So what I mean by that is if your 401k is housed in Fidelity and it has this brokerage link option, once you enroll in that, then you can pretty much buy any mutual fund or ETF that's available in the Fidelity platform, and that's really good. Option number 2, keep your old 401k where it is. I know that might seem odd, but sometimes the best action is to take no action. So if you're a goalkeeper for a soccer team and your opponent's power forward is racing towards you with the ball, research have shown that the best course of action is actually to stay standing in the middle of the goal, at the center of the goal, at least until you see the trajectory of the ball. Now, it only makes sense to keep it in your old 401k if you already have these low-cost index funds, institutional class index funds that I mentioned earlier, available in your old 401k. Also, if you already have that brokerage link that I mentioned earlier in your old 401k, then you really want to keep that in your old 401k because you'll have access to all of those mutual funds or ETFs in that platform. Now, you don't really want to overdo this though, because according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, on the average, each of us will hold around 12 jobs in our lifetime, and you don't really want to have 12 401ks floating around by the time you retire. Now, you may be wondering, Alvin, all the other YouTube videos that I've seen about old 401ks tell me to do a rollover IRA. And that might be true for some, but it may not necessarily be the best course of action, particularly if you are already a high income earner, or at least you're no longer able to contribute to a Roth IRA and you want to do a backdoor Roth IRA, because having a pre-tax rollover IRA will mess up your taxes when you do a backdoor Roth IRA. And I explain more of that in my other video on how to do a backdoor Roth IRA, so make sure you check that out. The third and final option that you may want to consider when you have an old 401k is to roll it over to a Roth IRA. Now, you have to listen carefully because this is not for everyone. This move will trigger a lot of taxes, a lot of federal and state taxes when you do this. This only makes sense, rolling it over to a Roth IRA, if you expect to be in the low tax bracket this year. I'm talking about being in the 12% tax bracket or 22% tax bracket for this year. Now, this might happen if you expect to be in between jobs for the most part of the year, or you're planning to take a sabbatical and just take it easy and spend more time examining yourself or spending time with your family and not expect to have any earned income for the year. Then it is a possibility that you're going to be in the low tax bracket for the year. And by doing this, converting your most likely pre-tax 401k to a Roth IRA, you are taking advantage of being in the low tax bracket and paying lower taxes compared to when you retire. To recap, if you have an old 401k, before you do any rollover IRAs, make sure you consider these 3 other equally great options. Keep it in your old 401k, move it to a new 401k, or roll it over to a Roth IRA. Now, deciding what to do with your old 401k is really a crucial financial decision, and really I strongly recommend you to seek out an expert credentialed financial planner to make sure that you're doing what is really the best for you. If you like this video, please click on the subscribe button and the like button. Make sure to check out our other video on how to do a backdoor Roth IRA so you can understand better what I mentioned earlier. If you have any other questions on rollover IRAs or old 401ks, please do leave them in the comment section. Until next time.